But yeah, tell me about the race season, or your goals this season. What it like? I know you're doing the working out stuff, but main things to accomplish is. Are you looking to go fast? Obviously, go faster. I mean,
yeah. I think this year's my breakout year. Finally, did the Daytona 200 for the first time this year, and it was kind of on the last minute, spur of the moment, So it didn't go completely as planned, but I finished, so that was a pretty big deal. This will be my third year on the Twin. I'm the only one on the Ninja 650. So everyone else on the Aprilia, the R7. And so a lot of my stuff is all R&D on my own. I have nobody to call.
You're the one doing all the trial and error kind of thing.
Yeah, I can't just go buy my parts online.
Right.
Everything is custom machine or custom made or
Who are some of the people working with you? If you're getting stuff custom machine, are there any companies out there you're working with?
Yeah, Racing Unlimited's helped me a lot. Cool. They help me with my engine. So he does a lot of the AFT, American Flat Track, dirt bike, framer engine stuff. So he has a lot of R&D into those 650 engines that they put in to those dirt bikes. So he's helped me a lot with engine work. Chassis setup wise has kind of been me and my buddy Ryan from Ready to Ride. He's helped me out with getting the geometry and the suspension setup. And then everything else is kind of one-off here, onesies and twosies. People have helped me. Mark's helping me a lot with getting me to the track and making
There's a lot of puzzle pieces trying to get in there.
Yeah, so it's coming from all different walks of the motorcycle industry where people have helped me. A lot of my stuff is kind of pro bono. I'll come work for them and then they'll come help me. Oh yeah, like Al at Racing Unlimited, I've went and done a bunch of carpentry and put a new sign up for him and
one hand washes the other. I need something, you need something. Let's help each other out.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's important though, right? I feel probably builds a sense of community, right?
For sure, and I also feel it makes me feel better because I feel I've earned it. You know what I mean? It's not someone just giving me something.
Right. So you're not just paying it off. You're my sweat went into this.
Exactly.
That's huge. That's probably puts you in a different category versus a lot of other racers who are just using the bankroll.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think it's also helped me with making that network and like you said, that sense of community and almost family, you know, in a weird sense, because it's I help them, they help me. The overall goal is always racing in everyone's aspect. We all love racing and we love motorcycles. So, and it goes so much further than just motorcycles. It's the bicycles,
Yeah, for sure.
The mountain bikes,
Right.
We got the flat track racing, we got the street riders,
right.
and I used to be in a motorcycle club, so that's kind of where it all started.
Nice.
Really. It was a few of us crazy guys on street bikes in a motorcycle club doing wheelies and riding like idiots on the streets, and then someone was like, you guys should go to the track, and then that's where it all started. So
that's how it started?
Yeah, it started. So
you got the bug at that point?
Yeah, well, I've been riding since I was 16, riding the street, and then joined the military and met a few other guys that like to ride.
What branch of the service were you in the military?
Marine Corps.
Nice, man. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, no worries.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was probably the best thing I've ever done in my life.
Awesome. Nice.
Yeah, definitely straightened me out. I was I was a little wild one.
That's all right, all part about growing up in life.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So
yeah, we got together with a bunch of guys, just like riding street bikes and being idiots, and my one buddy was like, dude, come to the track. Went to the track, met some other guys.
What track was that?
That was NC Bike in North Carolina.
Nice. That was the first track experience?
First track experience, Sweet. Yeah. I think I was like 25, maybe 26. Yeah, and then, I did that a few times, and then someone's like, you should race.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's try this out. So,
so what's the main goal? If you could have your perfect season this year, and how would it wrap up for you if we could fast forward a few months?
Fast forward a few months, I mean, I think finally getting the bike dialed to being able to ride the same bike every weekend. I've never ridden the same bike every weekend. I've always had major changes, whether it's engine, suspension.
Right.
That's a huge goal of mine. Consistent top 10 finishes, I think, would definitely make me beyond stoked. Of course, being on the podium would be a dream.
That'd be epic feeling right there to be on there.
For sure. I mean, just being, I believe I have what it takes. I feel like with the right team and bike underneath me, I can accomplish it.
Right.
A lot of the things, up until this year, I've done everything on my own. In the pits for the most part. I kind of could, get a few people to come help me out, friends. And
I'm kind of getting the sense of that. Like nothing's like handed to you. You're working for everything.
Yeah, exactly. So like last year, honestly, I almost gave up. Like I was almost done with it because I was like, man, I'm riding the bike, I'm working on the bike, I'm troubleshooting the bike, I'm getting it there. Like I'm taking my tires to the tire vendor. Like everything's on my own.
I'm wearing every hat possible at the track.
And then I got like a few other friends that, of course, they're at the track and they're helping other people.
Right.
So like I'm not their main focus, but they're lending me a hand. So in no means was I all on my own, But like for the most part, I didn't have that that one person to really rely on in helping me. So it's like everything's just me.
What would be like some of those building blocks or those certain people or companies that could really help you get to that next level this year?
Who would be?
Yeah, is there anybody like you're like, man, I could really use a suspension guy or a great company to like gear me up with clothes? Anyone you would want to partner up with?
Yeah, I mean, I think specifically, it's like kind of a bad answer, but anything helps, that's where I've been. Like if you give me $20, like, some people are like, oh, $20. I'm like, dude, it's $20. Like, you buy me dinner. Like,
I'm putting some fuel in the tank. Whatever. I'm getting some laps down on
whatever it is. And honestly,
tires aren't cheap.
No, they're not. That bill adds up fast. And,
seriously.
Luckily I've got a fuel sponsor this year.
Awesome.
So Lejeune Motorsports out of Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Nice.
They've helped me with my fuel a lot. I have Ready to Ride in North Carolina as well, in Jacksonville, and they've done nothing but help me with suspension and setup, and he's also a really good friend of mine. So it's like
that always helps.
He's the one who's actually got me into road racing. He was the one who put this curse, on me, I guess you could say, in the sense of just trying to be better and keep pushing and
for sure.
and racing. And we've started a whole community of riders, getting guys off the street that are those. Riding a little dangerous and getting them onto the track and getting them racing and kind of getting them to be a little safer.
I guess that's a good question. So, like, if someone was wanting to make their way onto the track, how would they do that?
Well, first off, you don't ride a 1000 like I did. All right? So don't do that. Like, no, you get on a small bike, a 400. Ninja 400 is probably your best bet. And find a local track day organization that will, bring you in. The track day, a lot of people think, oh, you're going to go to the track day and it's going to be like all these fast guys.
Right.
And it's like, no, they put it in different groups, You're
not going to be out of your wheelhouse.
No, you got the beginners, intermediate, advanced riders, and it's in 20-minute sessions, and you're not going to just show up there and get like thrown to the wolves.
That's good advice there, because I'm sure people would be apprehensive to go there in the first place.
The thing a lot of people don't know is the track is actually safer than the street.
I could imagine that, especially driving in Chicago with the potholes we have.
I mean, you're wearing all the protective gear. Everyone's going the same way. There's no cars, there's no street signs, there's no stoplights, there's no driveways, so everything, you take all those variables out, there's no gravel on the road, and it's way safer, and you're not going to get a speeding ticket.
More of a controlled environment.
Yeah, 100% controlled environment, and it's on you to control how much you do this,
so for sure.
If you're going to go there, and there's definitely room, chances of things happening, but that's usually when you ride.
Life, right?
But it's usually when you're riding over your head. You kind of learn and advance in a.
Speaking of that, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Well, I kind of already said it. It was like start on a smaller bike. My first race ever. was on a ZX-10 on a 1,000cc bike on the banks of Daytona.
Jeez.
So 190 miles an hour.
Getting real serious off the bat.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, it was what I had, So I understand that argument sometimes, but being a young guy and being a Marine and having some ego, it's like, oh, I can ride a 1,000,
right.
And in reality, I had there was no reason for me to ever be on that bike racing it,
Well, you're here to tell about it, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, in time, I ended up getting on a slower bike, and the slower bike lets you learn more because you're not just surviving.
Right.
When you're on the big bike, you're just trying to survive.
For sure.
But it goes so fast, you have no time to think, or even really hone your skill.
Right.
When you get on the slower bike, it helps you hone your skill and learn your brake markers and learn feel.
Yeah. So do you think you being big into fitness is playing a part in you taking your racing to the next level?
Definitely. I think, being physically fit on the bike is being able to control your heart rate, because where your heart rate is where your mind's at, So if you're in that red or that black, like you're not thinking,
right.
If you can keep your heart rate at a level where you're consciously able to have a thought process instead of just, going out there and surviving, where.
So kind of on that, like for someone who's never been on the bike, what is that like in that moment you're talking about right now, and controlling that heart rate and you're, have the bike pinned out?
I think it's consciously breathing, and also having the ability to know that you're in control, right? You're in control. You're not just along for the ride. You're the one controlling it, and learning those skills to know that you're in control, right? So plenty of people get on a bike and they can ride a motorcycle, and can they make it through the streets and be fine? Yeah, but there's a point of knowing what to do to get the, a certain outcome,
right?
So I think that's a big part of it, is that confidence, or having the ability to know you're in control and what to do when certain things happen, helps you control your heart rate, because you're not like you're not getting into that red state where you're like tense, you're kind of relaxed, and relaxing is a huge part of riding.
It almost becomes like a muscle memory thing, like.
Exactly, right? And it's those.
You feel a little wobble or something, you're already knowing at that point how to compensate or something.
It's a 10,000 hour rule, right? In anything, you want to become a master of anything, it's 10,000 hours. So if you can put your, going back to what you said, your younger self, the smaller bikes, the little dirt bikes. We go ride them in the backyard, and we put in countless hours of just, we crash these dirt bikes with very little, outcome. Like you get a little bruise, or you get a little, raspberry or whatever, but it's not like, the same thing of going 100 miles an hour and crashing.
Yeah, totally get that.
And you have an ability to build your skill at a slower speed, and then you can think, right?
For sure.
So these little TTR 125s, XR 100s, learning to slide that bike and move it around is really beneficial to transition directly to road racing.
So you racing any dirt bikes too, or?
Yeah, I do some flat tracking.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you said you're doing some mountain biking too,
Yeah, I
right?
love the mountain biking.
So literally, if it's on two wheels, like that's, no pun intended, your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I like to call it. I tell a lot of people I live a two-wheel lifestyle.
Nice, I like that.
Like it's everything that kind of goes around two wheels,
That's awesome.
So. I mean, I just love, since I was a kid, it was, the bicycles.
For sure.
Been, it started off BMXing, and then, dirt biking, and I grew up with my dad. I never discovered a motorcycle. It was just there, from day one of being born. It was like, not like, some people are like, oh yeah, right. This is when I realized
it's in your
I
blood.
like, yeah, no doubt.
Nice.
So it's just something that's kind of part of me. And it was funny because even when I was at boot camp, I'd ask my sister, like, can you send me pictures of my motorcycle? Yeah.
I miss it.
Yeah.
Wait, did it have a name?
Yeah, Claire.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That was my old car's name, too.
Oh, really?
That's funny.
That's awesome.
I got a custom 69 V-dub all decked out.
Oh, really?
That's
69,
funny. Yeah.
That's sick. I'll have to see that.
How funny. That's crazy. So what can people expect for you, or any fans or potential fans out there this season? What do you got in store?
I mean, like I said, just putting on the show, getting some good battles in.
Nice.
I'm planning on doing a back-to-back 2 races at Road America, and then that evening I'm gonna go race the Dairyland Classic on the 450 flat track bike.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of do like a double header.
That's epic.
So
is that like the biggest day looking forward to, like that double track day?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a pretty epic, weekend for sure. Road America, it's my home track.
Nice.
So like I'm gonna have a lot of support out there.
For sure.
Family and friends.
That's
and
gonna
stuff,
be epic. What day is that, or do you know offhand?
It's gonna be May 31st through June 2nd.
Oh, nice.
So,
big weekend there.
Yeah, huge weekend. I'm really looking forward to it, and we got a Barber coming up in 2 weeks, the 16th.
Awesome.
And I'm pretty strong at Barber, so I feel like I should have a good result.
It's gonna be a good day.
Yeah, and we'd made some changes with the bike, so hopefully, last year I was right there, and I had some bike troubles, and I didn't get my finish. It was gonna be my first top 10 finish, and I had some bike issues, but we got those all ironed out. So hopefully,
yeah, it sounds like you're gonna be really dialed in this year.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
So if anyone's trying to find you, how are they getting a hold of you?
Eddie Kaye 688 on Instagram.
Okay.
Or Eddie Kaye on Facebook.
Sweet, nice. Well, there we go, Eddie Kaye, man, in the flesh.
Ready to get some.
Peace.